We are coming to you from US Cellular Field in Chicago, Illinois, where tonight WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, Andrew Jones in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Derek Jeter and the 27-time world champion New York Yankees. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game series. In the opener last night, it was Freddie Garcia against A.J. Burnett. Freddie went out and he was just awesome. He went 7 innings, giving up 2 runs, just 1 earned. Sox won that ball game 9-4. So the Sox come in at 70-58, 12 games over. And we're 4 games back in Minnesota, who just defeated Seattle Mariners 1-0. So tonight, in Game 2, 2 of the best left-handers in the game.
Johnny Dank's going to the mound for the Sox. He's 12-8 this year, and his ERA is in the low 3s. And last time out, John had some problems giving up runs early. Then he slammed the door. Tonight, he's not going to be able to do that against a pretty good Yankee lineup who has some weakness in 7, 8, and 9. But John Danks could be the right man for the job. He's certainly competitive enough, and he's going to have to be tonight because he's facing CC Sabathia. Sabathia is 17-5, his ERA in the low 3s, and lifetime against the Sox, he's 15-4. This guy's just been overpowering all year, a definite Cy Young Award candidate. And the question is, can they beat a guy who 6 times in a row has won a ball game after the Yankees have lost 2 in a row? The Yankees have lost 2 in a row. Let's see if we can get him tonight.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball on WGN-TV, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball. Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. And by Ford. Drive one, better yet, get to your local Ford store and drive them all. From Focus to Fusion to F-150, there is a Ford for you.
Your official summer baseball station is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is worth $12 million. Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting provided by WRTO La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports leader. White Sox SAP is brought to you by Galaxy, home remodeling experts since 1984. Do great work, give a great deal. That's Galaxy. Beautiful night for baseball here in Chicago. Perfect weather. The temperature is as good as you would expect it. All they need now is some runs against Sabathia. We'll see how Joe Girardi is going to line up his first place New York Yankees, who come in at 78-50. It'll be Jeter, Swisher, and Teixeira, the top 3. Then Cano, Timms, Posada, Kearns, the very fast Gardner, and Nunez playing 3rd and hitting 9th. The defense behind John Danks, left to right, Pierre Rios and Jones. In the infield, Lillibridge, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. Ramon Castro behind the plate. And Johnny Danks on the hill looking for win number 13. Fine ERA of 3.31. This is 26th start. Very good walk to strikeout ratio. The umpires for the game tonight: Tim Timmons behind the plate, Tim Sheeta at first base, Bob Davidson is at second, and Alfonso Marquez is at third. Johnny Danks got off to a rough start last time out, and then he was able to shut the door. Tonight, he probably won't be afforded that kind of opportunity against a pretty decent team, although without Alex Rodriguez, they're kind of scuffling a bit, as Joe Girardi has seen his team survive the loss of Rodriguez, the loss of Andy Pettit, having Nick Swisher nicked up. But nobody's feeling sorry for the Yankees, just as the same situation holds true for Ozzie Guillen's Chicago White Sox, who last night lost Eric Frietz for the year. Carlos Torres brought up. He's active tonight. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. And we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for Game 2 of this 3-game series. The captain, Derek Jeter, will lead it off against our 25-year-old southpaw, Johnny Danks, out of Austin, Texas. Jeter comes in hitting at .273, 10 homers. He's driven in 59, and the first pitch of the ball game is swung on, and there's a souvenir right side. Not right now, but there will be a Fanny in every seat, plus some standing out in the outfield before this game is over. And the count very quickly, 0-2. Jeter 0 for 4 last night with an RBI. 36-year-old veteran. 4 for 12 lifetime off Danks. Yankees come in at 78 and 50. Tied with Tampa Bay for first place. That's up high.
But with the Yankee loss last night and the fact that Tampa Bay lost to the Red Sox just 4.5 games back of the Yankees and Tampa Bay.
That's up high. So the count 2-2 as you check out the American League East. And a full count. So he had him 0-2 and led him back into the at-bat. Yankees come in hitting at .268 as a club with a 3.90 team ERA.
Jeter doesn't walk all that often, just 46 times in 532 at-bats.
And another souvenir.
Derek's contract is up at the end of this year, as is Mariano Rivera. Two guys have been around a long time and really the heart and soul of this Yankee team.
Well, you can chart the ascent of the Yankees to the arrival of Derek Jeter. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
Before Derek Jeter, George Steinbrenner traded away a lot of his homegrown talent. That ball missed well inside. Then eventually, a lot of the baseball people convinced George that he should start keeping Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera. And
well, a lot of those people were Dick Michael.
I mean, he was one of them. There were a few others that had a whole lot to do with it. And as soon as he kept his homegrown talent, then he built around those guys. Jorge Posada, another one.
Well, Gene Michael was a GM at that point, and he just would not trade. He told George, he said, George, if you want to trade Bernie Williams, you trade him. He said, it's either him or me, or I'm out of here if you trade him. Stick was the guy that really was a mainstay in helping the Yankees keep a lot of those young players that Steve just talked about. Swisher can't get it, and the count 1-1.
I think it has a lot to do with Gene's educational background. Not sure
Kent State.
I'm not sure, yes, if you know that he went to the Harvard of the Midwest, Kent State University.
He won't let you forget it.
No.
And that is chopped foul. Swisher, 2 for 4 last night with a homer, a double. hitting at .293, 23 homers and 72 driven in.
Much more power from the left side. He homered last night the opposite way. Only has 3 home runs as a right-hand hitter, and from both sides of the plate, he's particularly susceptible to a straight change, which you would think would be forthcoming. But nope, it'll be a fastball in.
And that's fouled away. George didn't listen to too many guys. He never listened to any managers because he couldn't stand managers. Yet he could fire that manager, bring him up to be a GM, and he'd listen to what he had to say.
It was Lou Piniella.
Yeah, he didn't like Lou as a manager. He hired him a couple times. Then when he was the general manager, he loved him. Billy was the same way. Martin. But Stick was the one guy that more than anybody else that George listened to. That ball hit hard. Alex back. And it is 2-0 Yankees.
Home run number 24, RBIs 73 and 74. That time John didn't get away with one that was poorly placed. And so it's happened again early in this one. Johnny Danks has been touched up for a couple of runs with nobody out here in the first inning. Take another look at it. That's a changeup, but instead of being low and away, it was on the inner portion, it was thigh high, and it was gone.
So here's Teixeira hitting at .258, 28 homers. He's driven in 91. Teixeira 0 for 3 last night, and he has hit Danks well, 5 for 8. And to count 2-0. Johnny's going to have to get it together right here. There's the strike. 30-year-old switch hitter. Last year hit .292, 39 homers, and drove in 122. As this is not going to work against the Yankees, or it's not going to work against most big league teams. 2-0-3-1. So he's having trouble finding home plate, as he had Jeter 0-2, walked him, and then the big mistake, location with the changeup for the 2-run homer.
Teixeira has been a much better hitter from the right side, .292 as opposed to .243.
That's chopped foul.
Normally he hits for a very high average. This year the average isn't high, but he is a run producer. And he's knocking at the door of 100 driven in. 91 with a month to go.
That's popped up. Paulie giving chase. Stay in here. He will. And that is out number 1. With one away, that'll bring up the second baseman, the cleanup hitter, Robinson Cano, hitting at .320. 25 homers and 87 driven in.
And every year, year after year, this homegrown product has become a much better player. Early in his career, they were very frustrated by him. But can't be too frustrated with a guy who hit .320 last year with 25 home runs and 85 driven in. And he'll do much better this year.
To the count. And on tonight's home improvement for Menards, Robinson Cano is one of 3 American League players to rank in the top 10 in average, homers, RBIs, and runs. The other 2 are Josh Hamilton and Miguel Cabrera. All your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards. There's a base hit. So 1 out, 1 on. That'll bring up the DH. Marcus Thames hitting at .317, 6 homers. He's driven in 21. Marcus pinch hit last night, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Just a short lead by Cano. All speed outside. And the count 0-1. And here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
Juan Pierre is standing in the sunshine, the only player on the field that's doing that. It's a very tough position to play this time of night, as Juan's having some trouble, as you can see.
Well, I would suggest to Juan, come in about 7 or 8 steps, and you get no sun.
Move in or move back.
Anywhere
but where he is.
If he moves back, he's going to have to go right through that MLB sign tonight. But he's going to come in. He's fighting it. That's up high in the count 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, if the sun is really in, just about 15 feet space, it should move in a touch.
Little comeback or take your time. There you go. Makes a nice throw and wrap him up. They got him.
And Tim's can't believe the call by Tim Sheehan.
But the 2-run homer after the leadoff walk to Jeter. It is 2-0 Yankees.
Tonight it's going to be Pierre, then Ramirez and Rios, Paul Canerco on an 8-game hitting streak, Carlos Quinton the DH, and Castro, Jones, Lillibridge, and Beckham line up behind CC Sabathia. Kearns, Gardner, and Swisher left to right, with Nunez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira in the infield. Jorge Posada behind the plate, and very big CC Sabathia on the hill. This is 28th start. Opponent's hitting just 243. And he is 15-4 lifetime against the Sox, 8-1 at US Cellular Field.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Juan Pierre will stand in. Takes first pitch strike. CC 6'7", 290 pounds. That's what they have listed.
Yes, I think that's an optimistic 290.
Juan hitting at 282, a homer. He's driven in 35. That's trouble. Cano got a barehanded, can't make the play. That'll be a base hit.
That's really the equivalent of a good drag bunt by the pitcher. Sabathia had no chance to get it, and for Cano, he realized it's a do-or-die play. You come in barehanded and throw in the same motion, you got no chance to get Pierre.
Well, a lot of people might be saying, well, why don't they just bunt on the guy who's 6'7", 290 pounds? Well, one thing about it, CC Sabathia is a heck of an athlete. He is like a cat out there. He can feel that position.
He was a great basketball player, but obviously he has turned into a magnificent pitcher.
Everybody in football wanted him as an end. So here's Alexei. He was 0 for 4 last night. One with 50 stolen bases.
Normally you can steal against Posada, but Sabathia will at least combat that somewhat.
Boy, Ozzie came right out of his seat on that call by Tim Timmons.
Looked a little high.
And let's take a look at the first pitch to Alexei.
Anytime a catcher goes up with his glove, very rarely get the benefit of that call.
Well, as long as it's the same for both sides. And that's inside 1-2.
Sabathia has a cutter. His best pitch to go along with a terrific fastball is a straight change that's actually about 86, 87 miles an hour, which is just about everybody else's fastball. But he gets a lot of ground balls to shortstop on that pitch.
And that is just foul, says a jumping Tim Cheetah.
That wasn't foul by much. That'd have been 2 bases easily.
Tim Cheetah, one of the best in the business. Alexei hitting, as I mentioned, 285, but he is 4 for 11 lifetime off Sabathia. There's a 2-hopper. Nunez makes the play.
That's a good play by Eduardo Nunez.
All right, right now let's check out tonight's Dodge picks to play. Manjo, our director of crew, going with Andrew Jones. Stone Pony's going with Carlos Quentin. And my brother-in-law is like a brother to me, George Leonakis, down in South Bend. We're going to go with Alexa Ramirez. And for more information on the entire vehicle lineup, log on to Dodge.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Dodge dealer. Here's Alex. Alex underneath it. Swisher making the call. Now makes the basket catch for out number 2.
That's a tough play this time of night. Robinson Cano went out and looked like he was kind of mystified by this one as the ball was drifting. Swisher, who's been in this right field, came out with a basket catch and almost dropped it.
So here's Paulie. Paulie hitting at .315, 31 homers, 88 driven in. Paulie, lifetime against CC, is 15 for 69 with 2 homers, and he's driven in 5. Pick him up, Paulie. Sox have been doing just a terrific job with men in scoring position, 2 out.
Rios has one of the better batting average in that situation, and Paul has had just a big year all the way around. This would be a huge run to pick up after the Yankees started out with a 2-run homer in the first inning.
Well, the Yankees got on the board last night in the first with an unearned run.
Then we're swamped.
Breaking ball inside and the count 2-0 with Carlos Quentin, the on-deck hitter.
Sabathia's fan, 151 men, walked only 61. And now 188 in the 3rd inning. Pretty impressive numbers.
Boom! And there is the base hit. So here comes one. They're going to hold him up. Now here's the throw. It's off the mark. He goes through the sign of Jeff Cox. He scores. Austin Kearns with a bad throw.
Well, there was a time when Austin Kearns had a cannon for an arm, and he was a right fielder. But those days are not these days. And he loads up, but throws it well off the line. And Juan Pierre, knowing Austin Kearns pretty well, he just runs through the stop sign. And that throw is nowhere near the plate.
Well, I think for the most part, I would say it's at least 60-40, 50-50. A lot of the third base coaches are going to send guys, which Jeff didn't send in that situation, but they're going to send them not because of the arm strength, but because of the accuracy.
Well, especially in left field. When we saw Gardner last night, he'll get to the ball more quickly than most, and he's very accurate. So perhaps on him you don't run.
You don't run on Brett Gardner.
Austin Kearns a different story.
So it's a 2-1 ball game. Big 2-out RBI back in there. And that is the soft pop-up right there that Teixeira will make the play on, and that'll retire the side. But the Sox come back with 1. And we'll go to the second, trailing 2-1. First pitch strike to Jorge Posada, leading off here in the top of the second. Yankees lead it 2-1. 2-0 for them, 1-2-0 for us. And the count 0-2.
Posada's a better hitter from the right side, like Teixeira.
Well, what a player he has been for the Yankees. Over
Terrific
the years,
for a long time.
I have really become a Posada fan. He gone. One down. And in between innings, when Jeff Cox got back to the dugout, he was explaining right there. He was just saying, hey, nice hit, Paulie. Go on, Juan.
Yeah, that's when he said, I think the base runner thought I said no, when I was saying go, go. Yeah. That's usually the explanation for something like that.
He's a piece of work. He's done a terrific job at coaching, but there was a definite brain cramp right there. As Austin Kearns can't get it in the count 0-1. Kearns hitting at .298 with the Yankees. A couple of homers. He's driven in 6. And the count 0-2. At 38,596 last evening. Probably going to top that tonight and tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow. Tomorrow in the finale of the series with the Yankees, the Big Hurt Frank Thomas Day. He gone. Yes, 2 down. And of course you can Join us tomorrow as we pay tribute to one of our most beloved players, without question the greatest hitter in franchise history, Frank Thomas. They'll come to U.S. Cellular Field or watch it. That game will be over Comcast Sportsnet and help us celebrate the Big Hurt's retirement, including bobbleheads for the first 10,000 fans presented by all the great folks at Four Winds Casino, John Irwin and all the beautiful people at Four Winds. Here's Gardner.
Gardner has tremendous speed, and Pierre doesn't want to get too close in left field. Gardner actually has a little pop. He's had a big year for them.
Well, he's played 4 games against us this year. The 4 that we have played against New York, which we have split 2-2. In those 4 games, he has 8 hits.
Not surprising. He's been a very pleasant find out of their system.
There's the strike, and the count 1-2. That's a little high and wide. Minnesota shut out Seattle 1-0. Dick Blackburn.
It's the first time they've won a 1-0 game since 2007. Dick Blackburn came back from the minor leagues and just shut him down for 8 2/3.
Well, we watched a couple innings that he had his sinker going as that pitch is outside. And the payoff.
Well, it looked like he was going to be able to go all the way. But when he allowed a base runner with 2 outs in the 9th, they called on Brian Fuentes against Russell Branyan, and he struck him out. He got his first save.
Walked the wrong guy. Got ahead of him. He has 36 stolen bases. He's only been thrown out 7 times. So here's Eduardo Nunez hitting at 250, a switch hitter. 1 of 3 in this lineup.
And we've seen some pretty good defenders in place of Alex Rodriguez at third. Last night it was Romero Pena. Tonight it's Nunez. Both can field.
Phillies beat the Padres out at Petco 3-1. And that's out of play right side. Top of the 2nd, down to Tampa Bay. No score. Red Sox and the Rays. Cubs leading Cincinnati 1-0. Top of the 2nd at the Great American Ballpark. That ball hit hard. So that is Nunez's first home run, and it is 4-1.
And that's the second time that a walk and a home run have come back to back. It happened in the first inning with Jeter and Swisher. It happens in this inning with Gardner and Nunez. And you see how lively this ballpark is because that one just shot out of here.
Well, his first home run. And that is his first major league home run.
Looked like John tried to throw a cutter low and in. Didn't cut. Wasn't low enough.
Jacks it up. He did not go. That's too bad. Strikes out Posada and Kearns and walks Gardner after getting ahead of him. He had Jeter 0-2 last inning and walked him. That's not like Johnny Danks. There's the strike. And the count 1-2.
John, career-wise, came into tonight 43 and 41. 2-1 against the Yankees lifetime, but with an ERA of 5.5. So he's beaten them, but they've hit him.
It's only the 12th and 13th home runs he has thrown this year, and over 170 innings. And that's a top foul.
Lillibridge crosses over to foul territory.
And a reminder, this is your chance to win an A.J. Pierzynski jersey and tell the White Sox what you think. Log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers are confidential, so visit whitesox.com/survey. You must complete this survey before tonight's game ends. He gone, strikes out the side, but he walks Gardner, throws the first Major League homer to Eduardo Nunez, and we trail it 4-0.
.com right now. You can click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the game stats and information while you're watching at home. WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com is brought to you by Columbia College of Missouri. On campus and online classes fit your schedule and your budget.
First pitch to Ramon Castro. Taken for a strike. Ramon hitting at .318, 7 homers. He's driven in 18. Probably the best tandem in Major League Baseball with him and A.J. as far as being behind the plate.
Every facet of the game. They've just been terrific. And for Ramon, who has a very tough job being the right-handed counterpart in a platoon system a bit, he's kept his rhythm both defensively and offensively, and he's got big power.
And there's a soft line drive down to Nunez. One out, and that'll bring up Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones. Andrew hitting at .205, 17 long ones and 40 knocked in. That's inside. He has faced CC 4 times, has 1 hit. There's a shot base hit. Andrew would do that more to left-handers.
If he did that more, that batting average wouldn't be in the low 2s. because he's still a terrific
exactly right. It just amazes me. I've seen him now since spring training. I never watch Andrew Jones that much because I don't follow the National League that much. But I can tell you this, that the talent that man has is, he just turned 33, is still just spectacular. He has unbelievable talent. Can hit it as far as anybody. Still a tremendous defensive player. Can steal bases for you. As here is Lillibridge, makes the bunt, takes the strike. Then hitting at 296, the homer he's driven in 13. And Greg Walker has tried to get him to do a couple of things, and Andrew has just resisted for the most part.
Well, he wants him to spread out. Have the same type of stance he had in his glory days with the Atlanta Braves.
That's foul back.
Apparently Andrew doesn't feel at this point of his career he can do the same thing, but when he does spread out, there's a tendency to wait back a little longer. And if you don't try to pull that outside pitch, you will get some base hits. He's strong enough to hit it out in right center field.
He can hit it out of Grand Canyon. Maybe he will realize that when you do get a little older, which he's not, as I said, he's still a young 33. But if he does get that click and realizes he's got to make adjustments, some guys when at age 33 get better. He has over 400 home runs, 405. You can see him looking, catcher, pitcher.
Well, he knows most likely he can run on Posada. Just depends on how much Sabathia is willing to hold the ball, look over to first, and try to disrupt his timing.
That is served out into right field. Swisher has the bead, the ball. And that's out number 2. Checking another score. Blue Jays up at the Rogers Center. Beautiful Toronto, Ontario beat the Tigers 5-4. Morrow, the winner, he's 10-6. Figueroa takes a loss 0-2. And Kevin Gregg picked up his 30th save.
That Toronto team is a team that absolutely tears the Yankees apart. The fewer times they see the Blue Jays, the better they like it. They've had all kinds of problems with it.
Well, I just don't want to see Cito Gaston retire, so to speak. Cito is an outstanding manager. Well, if he wants to, that's fine, if that's his choice.
Well, he's going to have, I believe he told me, something in the 3 or 4 year contract as a consultant.
That can fouls it back. Yeah, but his place, in my opinion, again, unless he wants to retire, is managing the ball club.
Could very well be, after all these years and the success that he had, getting back into the game after being out of it for a while, he might decide that the traveling might be a little bit too much at this point.
Again, that's his choice. If he wants to do that, that's one thing. But he's got the right guy running the ball club now. And Beeston, as there's a jam job, and that'll do it. Nothing across. We're into the third. We trail it 4-1. The third inning, 4-3-0 for the Yankees, 1-3-0 for our Sox. And here in game 2 of this 3-game set, Swisher with a 2-run homer in the first inning. After Derek Jeter led it off with a walk, Johnny Danks had Jeter 0-2 and walked him, and then poof.
Curtis Granderson's in the on-deck circle. And that's a spot should be occupied by Mark Teixeira. So I would think that if this is the case, we'll find out what happened to Teixeira. That Swisher would come in and play first, and Granderson would go the outfield.
There's a chopper, fisted in, tree hopper, Alexei. 1 out. Well, the Yankees could ill afford to lose Mark Teixeira. That guy is. He's something.
That ball came off with a little spin, and Teixeira grabs it. Everything appeared to be fine there, but well, we'll find out. We'll let you know as Curtis Granderson getting an opportunity. He was hurt for quite some time, getting healthy just before the All-Star break. I talked with Curtis. Says he's now 100%.
Takes first pitch strike. And the count 1-1. Couple of 2-run homers, one by Swisher, one by Nunez. As Curtis can't get that one, and the count 1-2. He gone. 2 down. 4 strikeouts for Johnny Danks.
There's no doubt that this is a game of attrition. I talked with Joe Girardi, and he said that his club has been nicked up for quite some time. They don't know when they're going to get Andy Pettitte back, although things are looking good in a couple of throwing sessions for him. A-Rod said he's coming back September 5th. He's been out for a while. If they lose to Sheriff for any length of time, they got some big problems.
So Cano is now 2 for 2. He singled in the hole between third and short in the first. Beats that one right back through the middle. And that'll bring up Marcus Thames, who hit into a 1-4-3 double play. Can't get it. And the count 0-2. Posada on deck.
I always felt that Timms had somewhat of a slider speed bat, that if you threw a good fastball, especially up, you could throw it by him. From his days back with Detroit.
Tell you what he is, Stoney. He is a good mistake hitter.
There's a mistake, and he hit it.
So that is the third 2-run homer, and it is 6-1 Yankees.
You're 0-2, and what you need is a fastball about helmet high, out over the plate high enough so that he can expand his strike zone. Castro put his glove up. He wanted a fastball that was called, it's called higher than high. Didn't get it there. You see the glove. He wants it up high. This is letter high instead of helmet high. And it goes out of the yard and goes out in a hurry.
So here's Posada. He struck out on a fastball. Can't get that one. Well, tonight so far might be trying to close the gate after all the cows are gone, but we still have plenty of time. But the only bad thing is they got a guy out there named Cece. But for a man whose best pitch is his changeup, he hasn't been throwing a whole bunch of it.
He's getting beat on a lot of fastballs and cutters.
3 fastballs have gone out of the yard.
Yankees now have 160 home runs.
14 more than us. Has a full count now to Posada. And Johnny Danks throwing an awful lot of pitches.
It's going to be
2 2/3. This would be number 68.
68 doesn't make for a long out.
And he walks him. And he just is not sharp with his control at all this evening.
No, and Don Cooper's coming out to talk with him. You know, last night it was a game that we pretty much dominated. A.J. Burnett had a tough game, 3 1/3, 9 runs, 8 of them earned. Gave up all the runs, as a matter of fact. And little things that happen shape what happens to a baseball team. Well, Joe Girardi had to go to the bullpen, knowing he was going to start a run of 13 games in 13 days, no off days. He didn't want to deplete that bullpen in the first day after the off day. Sergio Mitre came on, and pretty much he said, here's the game, it's yours the rest of the way. He went 4 2/3 innings, didn't give up any runs, gave up 1 hit. And that preserved the bullpen. He's not going to get a whole lot of credit anywhere in the score sheet or anything else, just in the manager's heart.
Well, we're almost into September. And again, going back to baseball today has evolved into a battle of bullpens, especially from the middle of August on for contending clubs in a close race. Whoever gets the best performance out of that bullpen is probably going to win that race. But one of the biggest things that's still not talked about enough is a manager who knows when to eat a game.
And sometimes you just say, okay, we're going to lose this one, but I'm not going to put my bullpen at risk.
You try to win every game going down the last 6 weeks of the season, you're going to lose.
There is no doubt.
You're going to lose. You're going to blow your bullpen out. And Joe has a good sense of that, as does our guy, Ozzie. Ozzie not afraid to eat a game. There's a strike, and the count 3-1.
The very wise man just inducted in the Hall of Fame told me that it's not always the best bullpen that wins. Quite frequently, it's not. It's the healthiest bullpen that wins.
Sure. And look, we've got some problems as far as injuries go, but in fact, they just called up Torres to take Threet's spot on the roster. Eric's lost for the remainder of the season. Eric Threets was throwing the ball extremely well.
Hadn't given up an earned run all year.
I mean, he was throwing the ball extremely well. There you see Lucas Harrell. He was just called up. We have Thornton and Putz on the DL. As he gone. But the 2-out, 2-run homer by Marcus Tim. Third fastball hit out of here on Johnny Danks tonight.
to right field. Granderson takes over in center field, his natural position. Gardner moves to left field, where we saw him last night. And Nick Swisher comes in to play first as Teixeira has left the game.
And here's Juan Pierre, who had an infield single and came around to score on a 2-out base hit by Konerko. Want to know the count. Nunez in on the grass at third. As that pitch inside, and the count goes to 2-0.
There are times when CC has gone to the mound against us where he's been absolutely unhittable. But he's not unhittable tonight. So if we can ever hold them down, there is a chance against the big guy.
That's right at Granderson. Backs up a couple steps, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up Alexei, who grounded down to Nunez. 6-5-0 for the Yankees, 1-3-0 for our Sox. As I mentioned, this is the 5th game of the year between these two teams, and the first 4 they have split them.
Good off-speed breaking ball. It's always made Sabathia so tough, as he could always throw hard, but he can also, with pinpoint control, take something off and make it look like either a fastball or a hard slider, and just doesn't seem to get there quite as quickly.
That fastball at 96. That's low. 2-1. Come on, Alexei. Start us off right here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Off the glove of Nunez. So Alexei, he'll reach. And that is a base hit for Ramirez.
Fastball out away. 1-hop rocket off Nunez's glove. That's what happens when you have to respect the guy's bunting ability and you're playing in closer, so that hop off the grass skips over your glove.
Here's Rios. He popped up to right field. Decent lead by Alexei. And there's strike 1. Breaking ball, strike 2.
The day and age when 200 innings on the nose is a pretty good year. The last 3 years, Sabathia has gone 241, 252, and 230 last year. All he was 19-8 last year.
And got a world championship ring. As that is out number 2. Well, there's got to be some reason you make it $20 million a year.
Yeah.
So that's the first strikeout for CC, and that'll bring up Konerko, who had that 2-out RBI single, knocking in Pierre back in the first inning. And a reminder, Sox fans, this season it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub. the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the White Sox. You'll find great seats and great service on StubHub all season, so go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today. Take him out of here, Paulie. One swing of the bat, we're right back in. Breaking ball. That's pretty good, pretty cookie right there. Pretty good cookie to hit.
Sada wanted this one inside, and Sabathia rolls it right over the middle of the plate. However, he's only given up 15 home runs in 190-plus innings.
He's one of those guys that you just absolutely as a hitter. You got to try to get him early. But when you get 0-2, you know you're in a big hole. The big hole.
There was an example on the last pitch. It was 90 miles an hour. It looked like his fastball, but his fastball is 96. And it came in and just kind of darted low and away.
Sada blocks it, keeps it right there. And that 97-mile-an-hour fastball up high. If you're just joining us, Yankees 2 in the first. 2-run homer by Swisher. Yankees 2 in the second. 2-run homer by Eduardo Nunez. Yankees 2 in the third. 2-run homer by Marcus Thames. All coming on fastballs.
With that fastball right in on Paul's hands, he's able to stay alive.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the third.
Told you about CC's numbers lifetime against the Sox. Most of those numbers piled up while a member of the Cleveland Indians.
The ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Gardner back at the wall. Jumps, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. We're right back in it. 2-run homer by Konerko, and it's a 6-3 game.
Paul has all the runs batted in. That was his 32nd home run. He's now driven in 91. I told you it was a very lively night, and that Sabathia was less than overpowering tonight. Paul got it up in the jet stream, and it was gone.
Don't stop now, as there's a breaking ball strike to Carlos. Carlos popped up to Teixeira. And, of course, with that home run by Konerko, the Alex Nellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities. The White Sox charities, which do such a great job. And he'll donate $100 for every White Sox home hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 147. So $14,700 donated by Alex Nellius in loving memory of Ursula. And of course, that home run ties Konerko with Yogi Berra. 358 home runs, tied for 73rd place. As he strikes out Quinton, but the 2-run homer by Paulie gets us right back in it. We trail it by 3. One pitch, one out here in the top of the 4th as Gardner tries to bunt it, pops it up to Paulie. See it? Poof.
Dropped the head of the bat as he tries to drag it. The ball's going to go straight up. And with his speed, nice to see him in the dugout.
So here's Nunez, cranked out his first major league homer after Gardner had walked back in the 2nd with 2 out.
Johnny's offense is trying to get him back in this game, but to do that, he's got to find some way to hold down these Yankees.
And that is Souvenir left side. And a reminder, prorated White Sox season ticket plans are still available for the remainder of the season, and fans that purchase the final 16 games and place a deposit toward 2011 will receive the opportunity. That's popped up left side. That's going to be unplayable. But they will receive the opportunity to purchase 2010 postseason tickets. So call 312-674-1000 and visit whitesox.com. 1-2 the count. Turns it over. 2-2.
6 years in the Yankees minor leagues. Nunez has averaged 5 home runs a year. Swinging well tonight.
Keeps this at batted live, fouling off that pitch. There's a chopper 2 hopper. 2 down. Well, happy birthday. Happy 12th. As that'll bring up the leadoff man, the captain, Derek Jeter. He walked and scored in the first, struck out on a good changeup. One of the few that Johnny has thrown in this game.
The last 2 innings, John has had very little problem getting 2 outs. It's been after that. Let's see if he can take down Jeter.
On the fist. On the move. Nice. 1-2-3 inning. Easy inning for Danks. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-3 New York. Stone Pony just a couple of bloops and a blast away.
So far, we're swinging pretty well at Sabathia. Not a whole lot of people can say that this year. He's 17-5, but it's still early enough yet where this game is far from put away for the big boy.
Ramon Castro takes down low ball 1. He had a soft line drive to Nunez, leading off the second. Breaking ball and the count 2-0. Red Sox leading Tampa Bay 1-0. Game at the top of the 4th, done at the Juice Box in St. Pete, not in Houston.
It's Buchholz against Garza. A very good matchup of 2 young right-handers.
And the count 3-0. Don't help him out. And there's one. Joey Votto hit his 32nd homer as Cincinnati tied up the Cubs 1-1. That game in the bottom of the 4th. Well, what a season he's had.
He's a terrific young player.
There's a shot base hit. Attaboy, Ramon.
Well, you know you're going to get a fastball with 3-1, and Ramon this year has made a pretty good living out of looking for fastballs and getting him in a fastball situation. This ball low and away. Castro hits it awfully hard. And a promising way to start the 4th.
Andrew Jones, who shot a single into right field back in the 2nd inning. He's now 2 for 5 lifetime off CC. Just a short lead by Castro. And that breaking ball high and wide. Sox leading the hits with 6. Yankees leading runs with 6. You're just turning in 3 2-run homers by New York. Pulled a string on him, had him out in front. That ball hit deep. Way back. Gardner just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. 2-run bomb by Andrew Jones, and it's a 6-5 ball game. Mercer.
And 42 on the power numbers by Andrew Jones, who's 2 for 2, and just like that, it's a 1-run game. And Sabathia having all kinds of problems tonight. Throws this one low and away. Andrew goes out and gets it, and it's a no-doubter.
So here's Lillibridge. Jump ball right here. He did not go. And the count 1-0. Grant hit a little fly ball in the right field his first trip. That man is just a bundle of talent. At a very young 33. And that's off the facade of the upper deck. Miller Lite. Sign. Just underneath that one. So the count 1-2 to Brent. If you're just joining us, did not hear, Minnesota shut out Seattle 1-0 this afternoon. Got him. So the third strikeout for CeCe. 1 down.
Backdoor breaking ball. Put down Lillibridge.
And here's Beckham. He grounded out to first base. Big hat, no cattle.
Well, it was on that ground ball with a whole lot of spin that Mark Teixeira caught the ball, stepped on the base. Nothing appeared to be wrong, and then he came off and gave way to Curtis Granderson, who pinch hit for him.
That 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count 0-2. That's low. Finale tomorrow afternoon. It's the Big Hurt Frank Thomas Day. Gavin Floyd on the bump against Ivan Nova. And that game will be over Comcast Sports Day.
It's Nova's second Major League start.
Ouch.
Slider low and in, right off the instep of the left leg. Tim Timmons giving him some time.
CC now with the 1-2 delivery. And that's the right size, wrong shape.
Ward hit it a ton. That's going to send Posada out to the mound to talk with Sabathia. And he suggests that he stay in another spot, perhaps at a different speed. A fastball low and in. Gordon around a little too quickly.
And once again, the 1-2. Capacity crowd here at beautiful US Cellular Field, and a 6-5 Yankee lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning as he strikes out Beckham on a 97-mile-an-hour heater. So 2 out, and it'll bring up 1 Pierre. One had an infield signal and a run scored in the first. He lined out to Granderson last inning. Corners in close. Nunez on the grass. Outfield, short swung around to the left. Back to the middle into center field. So good speed aboard.
With CC Sabathia falling off to the third base side and in no position to field that ball. It went right back over the rubber on into center field. And Juan 2 for 3, and the only time they retired him, he hit a line drive.
So here's Alexei. He's 1 for 2. He singled and scored last inning with a shot off the glove of Nunez. Good lead by Pierre. And there's a nice strike, nice pitch by Sabathia.
Less than 4 innings, Sabathia's given up 8 hits.
Ground ball softly hit to Jeter. Up with it. They force Pierre, and that'll retire the side. But the 2-run homer by Andrew Jones will go to the 5th, trailing by 1. Nick Swisher leads off here in the top of the 5th inning. Takes first pitch strike from Johnny Dang. Swisher, that 2-run homer in the 1st inning. And then he grounded to short in the 3rd. As the count very quickly, 0-2. Outfield spread out slightly to the left. Gap out there in right center.
It's number 87. This is the top of the 5th inning.
Johnny's really been struggling with his control. And a reminder, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500 texter to text Subway to 97999. So go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules. This has been the toughest outing he's had in a while, control-wise.
He showed some signs of coming back last inning, a 1-2-3 inning without too much difficulty. Hopefully he can keep it right there.
He's had no idea about the release point with a changeup.
Oh, and when he's gotten 0-2 on a number of these Yankee hitters, he has run the count full. Curtis Granderson, who took over for Mark Teixeira in the on-deck circle.
And the payoff. And that is flip foul, and that's not going to be playable. Sox will conclude this series, this brief 6-game homestand tomorrow. Then it's off on the road starting Monday in Cleveland, 3-game series. We'll have a road trip of 11 days, 10 games. Had him 0-2 and walked him. The dreaded leadoff walk. 4th walk issued by Danks. After this road trip coming off, we'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Cleveland, Thursday an off day, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Fenway Park. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 6th through the 9th, against the Tigers in Detroit. That's ripped foul. But then we come home starting on the 14th with a 3-game series against Minnesota. 14th, 15th, and 16th. So make your plans to get your tickets. Excuse me, we'll be back on the 10th, Kansas City, and then the 14th, 15th, and 16th. That 3-game set against Minnesota. There's a strike.
Tony Pena loosening up in the bullpen. Johnny has to wend his way right through the middle of his order.
That ball hit in the center field. Alex is back, makes the catch. Swisher was around second. He'll tag the bag and get back into first. So 1 out.
Granderson gave it a ride, but fortunately, Alex with a good jump and all the way back on the track. Probably with about 8 feet to spare. Able to catch it. And Swisher, who had rounded second base, re-tagged it and had plenty of time to get back.
Here's Robinson Cano, the cleanup hitter. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored.
I don't think Swisher is going to wander too far off first base. 1 stolen base this year. Just looks at first pitch strike.
6-5 Yankees here in the top of the 5th inning. And a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source. Shop at whitesox.com. I went to the count to Cano.
For a guy that has generated the power that Cano has and the run production he hasn't struck out all that much. 60 strikeouts and 493 at bats. He's walked 48 times, and that's pretty impressive.
Well, he's an impressive talent. He's an impressive player. That's into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So he's 3 for 3. He's only made 3 errors at second base this year.
And here comes Ozzie, and I got a feeling that that's going to be it for Johnny Danks. And that is as Ozzie wants to bring in Pena to face Timms. And so a short night for Johnny Danks. He'll leave trailing with a couple of men on, and as Pena comes in, we'll step out and we'll be back after these messages. From the left side, assuming that Timms does not ground into a double play.
Timms is hit into one. That was back in the first inning. Then in the third inning, with 2 out, Cano singled, and Timms hit a Johnny Danks fastball out of here. 3 2-run homers Johnny threw tonight. Very unusual for him. But it was one of those evenings he just didn't have his good control at all. That is chopped foul.
There might be another night, perhaps a different type of night, where Ozzie would have gone with John a little bit longer. However, looking up at the board and knowing that Minnesota has already won, John just didn't have it tonight. Ozzie went to the pen.
He gone. 2 down.
Good hard slider away from Timms. That's going to get a few of them. Got a very frustrated young man. These kind of nights happen, and they fortunately have not happened to him too often.
One of the best young left-handed pitchers in the game. And here's Posada. He has struck out and he has walked. Takes first pitch strike from Pena. Castro gave it a little double clutch right there on the call. And the count 1-1.
Outfield straight away. Swisher does not have the greatest speed out at second base.
Way off balance, and the count 1-2. 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors for our Sox. And that ball hit hard. Andrew can't get there. That's going to score a pair. And all of a sudden it's an 8-5 Yankee lead.
RBIs 48 and 49 for Posada, hitting from the left side for the first time tonight. And that one up and out over the plate. So after making very good pitches to Timms and to Posada to that point, he left one up and out over the plate. Andrew couldn't get to it. And it's a 3-run deficit.
So the leadoff walk starts it off. And the book on Johnny Dax is closed. 4 1/3, 8 runs earned. 6 hits, 4 big walks. 3 of those walks scored. Austin Kearns, and a 2-0 count.
Well, we thought this was going to be a terrific pitcher's duel. Hasn't turned out quite that way.
And the count 3-0.
Bill Girardi just might give Kearns with 2 outs. 3-0 green light.
Taking all the way, and the count 3-1. Well, they had a leadoff walk in the first inning. If you're just tuning in to Jeter, he was down in the count 0-2. He scored ahead of the 2-run homer by Jeter. And a leadoff walk here in the 5th. And there's ball 4. So a big 2-out double by Posada knocks in a couple runs, and that'll bring up Gardner with men on first and second. Gardner has walked and he scored. That was in the second with 2 out. He walked, and then Nunez cranked out his first major league homer off Johnny. And there's ball 1. Count evens. Also, if you're just tuning in, Minnesota shut out Seattle 1-0. Nick Blackman picking up the victory. Fuentes the save.
Looked eerily like the same Nick Blackburn that threw in game 163 in this ballpark. Gave up just the 1 run. He didn't give up any.
became a fan of Mick Blackburn's during that ball game. That was just a terrific ball. Johnny Danks and Blackburn.
Two very young pitchers in probably the most tension-packed game you can have, playing your way into or out of the playoffs.
And the count 3-1. So home plate jumping around on Pena. Well, besides that, one of the moments that I enjoyed and remember most also about that 1-0 game was after the game. Well after the game, Juan Gardenhire walking from the visiting clubhouse over to congratulate Ozzie. There's a strike and a full count.
I think both of those guys going head-to-head just about every year for a playoff spot really have a whole lot of respect for one another. I mean, you can hear it in the words in which they describe one another.
Well, they should. Two outstanding managers.
It's a broken bat, I think.
Yep. Another $64 bill just bit the dust.
Maybe a little less. Those aren't maple, I don't believe.
And the payoff. So he walks the bases loaded now.
Don Cooper is going to come out to have a word with Tony Pena. Mark Teixeira bruised his right thumb. That's why he came out of the game. Hasn't seemed to have affected their offense any. As Don Cooper having a conversation with Tony Pena, trying to give him a little encouragement, but it's pretty much going like, you got to trust your stuff.
Well, nobody can help you. Your catcher, your third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first baseman, outfield. Nobody can help you when you walk guys.
When you have 7 guys behind you who are paid to make plays if you let the opposition put the ball in play.
So here's Nunez as he takes up high ball 1. They got to find a way to get this man out. Get back in and go to work again against CeCe. 1-1 to count. Cubs leading Cincinnati 3-1. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Nasty Nats leading the Cardinals 8-5. That's in the top of the 6th in D.C. And to count 2-1 with Jeter on deck. Jam-packed house here at beautiful US Cellular Field.
And they've seen their Sox come back from 6-1 down.
And there's a base hit. That's going to score 2 more. So it's a 10-5 ball game.
Nunez came in hitting .250. He's now driven in 4 runs tonight. He came in with 3 all year. As this fastball right down the middle after falling behind 2-1 shoots it into right field. And a big 5th for these Yankees.
Well, we've walked 3 guys. 2 of them have scored, and they certainly set up one of the other runs. So here's Jeter. And 9th hitter to hit here in the top of the 5th inning. There goes the runner. Nunez picks up his first major league stolen base. The bullpen has really had some rough outings lately. Big time. Leaked a lot of oil.
Well, unfortunately, that's been one of the stories in our pursuit of these Twins.
Well, if it continues, as that's right to Andrew, if it continues, it's very simple. We lose. Meanwhile, a big 4-spot halfway home trailing 10-5. Yankees, I'll tell you, have taken over the first place in playing the slowest ball game.
There's no doubt.
In the American League. I don't know about the National League, but in the American League. And here, Alex Rios will lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, total, when you've got 15 runs, 16 hits, it's going to be a fairly slow affair.
One and one to count. Rios has popped up to right, and he has struck out. And that's fouled back. I don't know. I'm sure he got stats in, but I would just venture a dozen golf balls bet that the pitchers take more time to train pitches than any other team in this league.
We know A.J. Burnett is pretty slow. CC doesn't exactly rush into much. He hasn't had a whole lot tonight.
That's cued right off the end of the bat. Which will take it himself. So that's out number 1. And that'll bring up Paulie. Paulie, a 2-out RBI single in the first and a 2-run, 2-out homer in the third.
This put us back in the game as Paul got one up in the jet stream and out of the park. That made it 6-3. And Jones made it 6-5. But then the 5th inning came around.
Johnny Danks left with 2 on, 1 out. no runs in, and first thing you know, they put a 4 spot on the board.
Bullpen up and going once again for the Sox. Recently activated Carlos Torres, who came up today with Eric Fried's lost for the year. Getting ready, I believe, to come into this one.
One and two the count to Konerko. Toronto beats Detroit 5-4 up in Canada. And the count evens at 2 to Konerko. That home run in the third was Paulie's third career off CeCe.
32nd of the year. Just a magnificent year for Paul Konerko in just about every facet.
Well, defensively, no question about that. Give him an A+ defensively. He's hitting .318 with the 32 homers. He's driven in 91, so offensively, you give him an A+.
And because he's not going to steal any bases, there's not much else. So he's been just magnificent.
Yes, he did. And that is out number 2. Fifth strikeout for CeCe.
It's a slider down and in. Paul thought he checked his swing. Looked like that bat went a little too far, and Tim Timmons doesn't even need an appeal.
That'll bring up Carlos. Quentin has popped the first, and he has struck out.
So huge.
Underneath that one. Ten runs on 8 hits for the Yankees, 5 runs on 8 hits for our Sox. It's easy, still pumping. That one at 98. And the count 0-2.
Strength is not a problem for the big fella. Now ready to deliver pitch number 81.
Breaking pitch out in front. Oakland leading Texas 3-0. That game in the top of the 4th. Got it Arlington.
Probably be considered a must-win for Oakland at this point.
Well, they're 9.5 back coming in here. And they've got Dallas Braden on the bump. 2 of the outstanding change-up Bradens against Rich Harden. Texas 9.5 over the A's. 10.5 coming in today over the Angels. That's a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts, and we'll go to the 6th, trailing by 5.
garnered with the Charlotte Knights. He was 9-9, mostly as a starting pitcher. Pitched very well at AAA. Now he has to come up here and establish the fact that he can get the ball over the plate. He had some trouble with that. And we could certainly use a few pensmen that can get people out, because it's been pretty rough down there with all the injuries and all the call-ups.
Coming at a tough time. Late August. So here's Swisher. He is 1 for 2, a 2-run homer and a walk that led off the 5th inning. And they scored 4 times that inning. Oh, 1 to count. The 29-year-old switch hitting outfield. And the count 0-2. Philadelphia, as I mentioned, beat San Diego 3-1. Washington still leading the Cardinals 8-5, top of the 7th inning in D.C. Swisher with that 2-run homer, now 24 on the season, 74 knocked in. And that ball hit hard into center field. Alex back. He's there, jumps, makes the catch, hits the wall on a line shot off the bat of Swisher. He got a good pitch to hit, and he hit it hard. Meanwhile, grabs some bench.
He came about 2 feet short of homering from both sides of the plate. This is Swisher's strong side, even though his natural side is the right side. Nice play by Rios as he goes up with 2 feet to spare, and he makes the catch.
So here's Granderson. He's 0 for 2. He came on for Teixeira, who left with a bruised thumb. Curtis struck out in the 3rd and then went out deep to center field in the 5th. Yep. Tip your cap.
He went and got it. Swisher got most of it.
Well, Alex has gone and got a lot this year. He has been absolutely terrific in center field. The ball is hammered to foul.
Well, when they go about handing out the gold gloves, center field, Rios has made 2 errors all year long in 122 games. Not to mention his coverage alley to alley, his ability to go up over the wall, which we've seen a number of times this year. He's got to be right there in the voting.
Full count to Granderson.
No with 3 hits, waiting in the on deck circle.
Another walk. 7th walk issued by Sox pitcher.
Tonight's U.S. Cellular text poll question, believe in something better, is: will Joe DiMaggio's record 56-game hit streak ever be broken? A is yes, B is no. You can text A or B to 97999 and watch for the results later in the game.
Here's Cano. He is 3 for 3. His average up to 324 to go along with those 25 homers and 87 driven in. Also has walked 48 times. Only made 3 errors in the field. (10-5) Yankees here in the top of the 6th inning. Anderson is 10 for 11 in stolen bases. Cano takes strike one.
Cano came up to the Yankees in 2005. As a rookie, he hit .297. 2006, he hit .342. He had a tough year in 08. He hit just .271. Last year, the power started to come to him. And he just had a great year overall.
Outside, 2-1. Well, he's one of those guys, whatever he does doesn't surprise you. If he hits .360, it wouldn't surprise you. If he hit 35 home runs, as there goes Granderson, and that pitch fouled away. If he has 35 home runs, that wouldn't surprise you.
No, he's got a perfect ballpark for his swing. But there's not much that he can't do. And as a product of the Yankee farm system, these days they're just not letting their good youngsters get away.
And he and Adrian Beltre probably got the two best underhand throws in baseball. That ball hit high and deep to center field. Dallas is back on the track. Right in front of it, hauls it in. 2 down. So they'll bring up Marcus Thames, who is 1 for 3, but it was a 2-run homer. Johnny Banks throwing a fastball up, but not up enough. He just hit it out of here. High, towering drive. Halfway up the seats and left.
John had a lot of problems on 0-2 tonight. He could get to 0-2, but then he just couldn't wipe them out when he got there.
And he had a couple of guys 0-2 and then walk. It really hurts. But he will be back with a vengeance. Say it, Johnny Banks.
Don't doubt it for a minute. He's one of our.
He's like a mongoose.
Most competitive.
He's a mongoose. Once he gets those teeth in you, you've been had. There's a strike. 1-1.
Yankees have been on a whole lot of pitches tonight.
Picked off. Give it to him and put it on. All right, that'll do it. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. We still got time. We trail by 5.
Great outing last Thursday against Baltimore. He went 8 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, and struck out 10. Edwin Jackson, tonight's Toyota, moving forward. There's a look at Edwin. Threw the ball about as well as you could possibly throw it as the Sox took 2 of 3 from the Orioles.
All right, here we go. Ramon Castro, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Leads it off, takes ball 1. Both teams with 8 hits, but the Yankees with 10 runs. We have 5. They have hit 3 home runs. We have hit 2.
Difference being the generous walks.
Yep. They have issued none. CC has issued none. We have walked 7. And they have been absolutely instrumental. Well, 4 of them are scored, but that still is not the others set up some runs as well.
And the extra amount of pitches you throw, and eventually stuff isn't quite as good.
Could not check it up in the count 1 and 2. In that 8-5 Washington lead over the Cardinals, 7th inning, Adam Nunn has a 2-run double and a 3-run homer. That's out number 1. 7 strikeouts for CeCe. So here's Andrew. He is single sharply to right. And then in the 4th inning, after Castro led it off with a single, he cranked out his 18th homer. Curveball, no. That Boston-Tampa Bay game, still 1-0, top of the 7th. On at Tropicana Field.
Clay Buchholz has had just a magnificent season, as has Matt Garza.
He did not go. No Buchholz. 15-5 coming in. Garza 13-7. Way high. 3-0.
Boston is playing without Euclid, without Pedroia, without Cameron, without Ellsbury. So this is truly a game of attrition. Can't worry about who you don't have. The guys you do have just have to step forward.
They call it depth. And if you don't have any depth in your pitching staff, you're in deep doo-doo.
Also depends a little on the payroll and just how good your minor league system is when you inevitably have to go down there to get some help.
The 3-1. And that's ball 4. So the first walk issued by CeCe. And that'll bring up Lillibridge, who has gone out to right and struck out. If you're just tuning in, Yankees were 2 in the first, 2-run homer. 2 in the second, 2-run homer. 2 in the third, 2-run homer. Sox with 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 2-run homer, and 2 in the fourth, 2-run homer. It was 6-5, and then that big 4 spot. In the 5th inning, they lead at 10-5. There's a breaking ball strike. Atlanta just hammering the Marlins 10-1, bottom of the 6th down in Georgia. Atlanta coming in with a 2-game lead over the Phillies, who won their ball game. Marlins now 8.5 back if it holds up. After a few comebacks we've seen this past week, though, or this week. Rockies coming back from a 10-1 deficit. Won a game.
San Francisco coming all the way back only to see Cincinnati and retake the lead and eventually win the game. That's Tim Hudson going for Atlanta, and Florida's not coming back.
Pretty good pitch right there. And the count 1-2.
The last seat in the house is taken.
The ejector button right there.
It was strike 3, and you got to get the frog out of that glove.
So 2 down. $38,811. 38,596 last evening. Beckham goes through it. He's 0 for 2. A grounder to first and a strikeout. And that is back into the LG Skyline Club seats.
Very good chance tonight that we are going to get a chance to see Kerry Wood. Was acquired to help shore up the bullpen. Used as a setup man for Mariano Rivera. What a year Mariano has had once again. 25 saves. A 1.18 ERA.
Well, he must have had a couple of bad outings in there.
Yes, real bad.
CeCe still pumping that one at 96. 2 out, 1-2 the count here in the bottom of the 6th. There's steely-eyed Texan.
Come to New York and the goatees and the beards are gone.
CeCe strikes out the side. He does walk Andrew Jones. We do strand 1. That's our 4th left on base, but we trail it by 5. First pitch to Marcus Thames, swung on, high pop up, and that's being pursued by Juan Pierre, who makes the catch just in front of the seats. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning.
Just so you know, it was on the up and up. Todd Mayberry was tonight's hit the jackpot with Powerball contestant. Fortunately, no Sox hitter hit a home run in the 6th inning. So Todd, you lost. Sorry, pal. Tonight's jackpot is worth $25 million. But you got to win it on your own.
Here's Posada, had a big hit. Big hit. Coming with 2 out. 2 on in the 5th inning off Tony Pena, that double. Knocked in a pair. Then they scored 2 more and broke it open. It was a 1-run ball game up until that. As that's popped up, Juan Pierre giving chase, and this time will not be able to make the play. And a reminder, you can get Frank Thomas apparel exclusively here at US Cellular Field. Now, the ballpark will serve as the sole retailer of Frank Thomas merchandise through September 1st. Items for sale include the adult black alternate jerseys, adult pinstripe jerseys, and adult and youth Frank Thomas t-shirts with an exclusive graphic. So stop by the official White Sox team store today.
It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. Great day for Frank. A lot of the old Sox players will come back.
Yeah, so James Baldwin, Ron Carcavise, Billy Seamus I haven't seen in a long time. A lot of guys coming back to honor number 35. And there's a shot past Lillibridge. So Posada going to give it a go. Here's the throw. No. Safe.
Well, Posada looked like he broke down. And they're going to have to check and see if he's okay. But I think in a 10-5 game, maybe he has some second thoughts about trying to extend himself. This is a slider up. Posada thinking about 2 when he left the batter's box. That's noble. But when he got about 2/3 of the way to second base, that's when it looked like he took a bad step. Right there. However, he is okay.
And here's Austin Kearns. He struck out twice, walked and scored. After Posada double, Tony walked in, then he walked Gardner. And then Nunez with a big 2-run single, put that 4 spot on the board. Seven walks issued by our pitching staff. Oakland now leading 4-0. That game in the top of the 5th. Down in Texas, Dallas Braden. There's a strike in the count, 1-2. Two and two the count. And that is into left field. Wine, he's there. Makes the catch, gets it back in. 2 down.
He's having an adventuresome inning. 3 times he's run over in the corner. 2 times he has successfully caught it. 1 time he ran out of room. Fortunately, Kearns didn't get this one.
So here's Gardner. He's 0 for 1, and he's walked twice and scored once. He's the one man on this team you really don't want to walk. There's a strike in the count 0-2. Gardner 36 stolen bases in 43 attempts. And that pitch is high. Blocked nicely by Castro. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Sox took the opener last night 9-4 behind Freddie Garcia, picking up his 11th victory. And without pushing the envelope very hard at all, Freddie could have 15 victories easily this season.
That performance last night was very impressive.
Got him upstairs. He gone. 7th inning stretch. Not good. Bottom of the 7th inning. We got some work to do. We got 9 outs to get it done. CC Sabathia saying, hey, I don't want anybody coming in out of that bullpen for me.
Well, the only problem is that although he was very vulnerable early, he's getting stronger. And after he gave up the 2-run homer to Jones to make it 6-5 in the 4th inning, he's fanned 7 men.
As here's Juan Pierre. Takes that breaking ball in the dirt. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Well, it's not unusual to see good pitchers get stronger. Usually if you don't get them early, you don't get them.
Well, we did get him early, and normally if you put 5 on the board against him, you should be in good shape. But this is not normally.
There's the strike.
And it is pitch number 103 he's about to deliver, and that bullpen is indeed up and going.
He only has 2 complete games all year. CC 67 games over 500.
Most amazing.
And that breaking ball hit into center field, Granderson. So Warner has really swung the bat well tonight off CC.
And part of that performance, which has been so amazing, you can understand, look, the Yankees are a very good team, and CC got there and did well. Went to Milwaukee, helped pitch them to the playoffs when he was traded from the Indians, but he played on some Indian teams that weren't all that good. And yet he dominated for a team that wasn't that good, and that makes the 67 over even more impressive.
Well, again, I know there have been a lot of bad signings, but there's a reason he's making $20 million a year.
There is. And if you're going to give a pitcher that kind of money, this would be the guy you would give it to. And remember, as I always said, Hawk, price is no object as long as you're paying.
And he means that, sports fans. He means that from the bottom of his pocket. One out, 1-1 to count. That's cued right off the end of the bat. Now the spin gets it, and he's going to be safe. Well, that spin just ate Swisher up right there. All right, we'll take it. Let's get something started.
Well, at first, CC thought that he could make that play. Then he realized that he couldn't make it. Swisher came over, realizing that if he did make it, there was nobody going to be behind him. And it's a base hit, and a couple of smiling former teammates realizing there was nothing that anybody could do about it.
So here's Alex. He's 0 for 3. He's due. Takes that one. And the count 1-0. Konerko on deck. 10-9-0 for them. 5-9-0 for us here in game 2 of this 3-game series.
Jabba Chamberlain throwing in the pen.
Nice backhanded play by Nunez. They get the force at second. Says Bob Davidson, and that's out number 2. Good play by Nunez.
And a very good play by Cano.
Yeah.
It's a good pickup on an awkward hop. The throw's in the dirt. Now, Cano is not near the bag, but gets the call.
Ball beat runner, runner out. Here's Paulie, 2 for 3, a 2-out RBI single, a 2-out, 2-run homer. High and wide. Gavin Floyd against Ivan Nova tomorrow afternoon on Frank Thomas Day, and that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Call and check. Call 674-1000. Check. I don't think there's a ticket available, but there may have been some cancellations. I doubt it. To call in.
Chamberlain not having the best of years.
Well, he's a very talented young man, but he's, I should say, and he is not, he is. He is in a situation where he's got a couple guys down there that he can talk to.
Well, certainly you talk to Mariano. And with Kerry Wood coming in, he has a chance to talk to a guy that perhaps he can relate a little bit better to because of the struggles that Kerry has had and the struggles that Java has had.
Those are the two.
Yep.
He's got a couple of guys now. Now, if he listens, it's another story.
Well, I think if he comes to grips with the fact that he most likely is going to be a Pensman, because there for a while it was, well, you're going to be in the bullpen. No, you're going to be in the starting rotation. No, you're going to be in the bullpen. That's confusing for anybody, let alone a youngster.
That ball high. Stretch. Right in front of the fence. He just missed it. Alex, okay. And that'll retire the side. We're into the eighth. Trailing by 5. Into his third inning of work. Strike one to Eduardo Nunez, who has a 2-run homer and a 2-run single. Go figure. First major league homer.
It's been a big night for him.
Go figure. First major league stolen base.
He had
3 RBIs coming in. He now has 7
RBIs in 8 games. 4 tonight.
And another base hit.
Tonight's Walgreens VIP is Christopher Dearman from Huntley. After the game, listen to 670 The Score for your chance to be the Walgreens VIP for a day, including a Walgreens Affordable Essentials prize pack and a pair of tickets to a White Sox home game. Brought to you by Walgreens, the Pharmacy America Trust. Looks like Nunez has copied the stroke of Derek Jeter.
Well, he's done a pretty good job of it tonight. As here is the captain, who's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Boston leading Tampa Bay 2-1, top of the 8th inning. Still hitting. And the ball gets away. There's the throw, not in time.
Take another look at it. And it goes E1. That ball right into the runner and actually caromed off Nunez before Paul could get a chance at it. Thought he had a chance at second, didn't. Well, that's the first error of the night by either team.
And now man on second and nobody out with the man who moves the ball to the right side as well as anyone. Base hit. They will hold the runner as Andrew quickly gets to it, gets it back in. So now trouble of brewing. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Well, there's just a small sampling of why Derek Jeter is thought of as well as he is in this game. Not only does he have a whole lot of hits, that goes without saying. More hits than Lou Gehrig is pretty impressive. But the fact is, in a 5-run game late, he's still doing the right thing. And that's taking the ball to the right side. Whether he got a base hit or not, he was going to make sure that he moved Nunez over.
So here's Swisher. A shot, base hit. Nunez scores. It's 11-5.
Third RBI of the night for Swisher, who's hit the ball very well. Fortunately, he gets over the top of this one and hits it with overspin, so it's a sinking line drive. He hit it very hard. 75 runs batted in.
And a reminder, you can experience a week of living out your baseball fantasies by suiting up and playing among former White Sox greats while being treated like a current Sox player at the White Sox Fantasy Baseball Camp January 11th through the 16th at the spring training home of the White Sox in Glendale, Arizona. So for more information, call 312-674-5444 or email us at fantasycamp@shysox.com to reserve your roster spot today. That's a lot of fun. 0-1 to Granderson, who is 0 for 2 with a walk.
That was right off his leg on a slider low and in. That got him off the right cap.
To the count. And gets a piece of that one. Nobody out, 2 on. He gone. 1 out. Second strikeout for Torres. And that'll bring up Cano, who's 3 for 4 with a couple of runs scored.
There's activity in both bullpens. You can understand why Robinson Cano would be as happy as he is when you look at those numbers and you look at his night tonight.
Could be, should be. And rack them up. That'll do it. They do pick up one more. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, now trailing 11-5.
56-game hit streak ever be broken? Yes. 36%? No. 64%. So the Noes have it. And there's Jabba Chamberlain. 1-4 ERA, 4.72, on for the 57th time. He's been asked to try to save a few with mixed results. Taking over for Sabathia, who had problems through the 4th inning and then said that was enough, boys, and took over from there.
So here we go. Carlos to lead it off. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has popped the first and then struck out a couple of times. Tampa Bay has tied up Boston at 2. It's off the end of the bat up the middle. Jeter. No chance. So the leadoff infield single.
Good effort by Jeter, who wound up closer to Granderson than he did to Cano. Didn't miss him by much at first base, and that was a long way to go for that one.
So here is Ramon Castro, 1 for 3. He singled and scored back in the 4th inning. Take strike 1.
Sabathia went 7, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. He walked 1, he fanned 9.
And he's in line to pick up his 18th victory against just 5 losses. Johnny Danks, the pitcher of record for us. That's out of play. And a reminder, Monday, September 13th, you can join. This sounds like a lot of fun. Join Ozzie and friends for a night of mingling, music, and fundraising hosted by White Sox Charities and the Ozzie Guillen Foundation. Now, the evening will be highlighted with music featuring salsa icons Ruben Blades, Tito Nieves, Gilberto Santa Rosa, and Ocho Imas. So for more information on attending the event or to purchase tickets, please visit WhiteSoxCommunity.com community. That's out of play. Monday, September 13th. I might just have to make that one. Yeah, that is an off day. It is. The 0-2 pitch. Jabba look big, do you?
Not all that big. Not as big as he normally looks, which is pretty big.
Here's a 1-2. And that's out number 1.
Here's our 4th drive of the game. It came in the 4th inning, and at the time, it made the game 6-5, and it made the game very interesting. Stayed that way till a 4-run 5th.
First pitch strike to Andrew. He also had a single go along with that walk, so he's 2 for 2. That ball hit hard. One hops into the seats. Carlos thinking it was out of here, kept on coming.
Carlos wanted to score on that one. A triple shy of the cycle for Andrew Jones, who hit that ball as hard as you can hit it. But he did hit it with some topspin. That's the only thing kept it in the ballpark. Now Joe Girardi comes out. He's not liking the way Chamberlain's throwing the ball. That ball hits off the track and out of the park.
Well, we were talking about it. He's just a ton of talent.
But that's going to be it for Chamberlain. So as he walks out, we'll be back as Boone Logan comes in. On for the 34th time. He inherits base runners at second and third. Only one out here in the 8th inning. And he inherits a 6-run lead.
Ducks on the pond, just one out. Checks it up. Breaking pitch and the count 1-0.
Artian will come on, take over in the spot occupied by Lillibridge.
Well around to the left. And now he's got the catbird seat at 2-0.
Talked with Boone yesterday before the game, and he appears to be throwing more over the top than he did here, where he pretty much was a slinger from the side, especially to left-handers.
Ball hit hard. Swisher picked it up, looked to home as Quentin scores, and it's 11-6.
Yankees at the point now where they're going to trade outs for runs. The fact that Swisher even thought about coming home could have opened the door for a bigger inning.
So here's Beckham. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes that one low and inside. 11-12-0 for the Yankees. 6-11-1 for us. So one time they trailed at 6-1. That was after 2.5 innings. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, all 2-run homers. And that's fouled back. The count evens at 1. $38,811. And it appears the rubber match tomorrow afternoon on Frank Thomas Day. Good check. 2-1. 26 years old. As that's not a good pitch. Out of Helotes, Texas.
He came over along with Javier Vasquez, who now is in the bullpen for the Yankees. For Melky Cabrera, Mike Dunn, and Vizcaíno.
There's a shot base hit. Double down into the corner. So Andrew's going to score. And it's 11-7.
That'll be at number 47 for Gordon. Talks up his first hit. That went out over the plate, and he rifles it by Nunez at third.
That'll bring up Juan Pierre, who's 2 for 4. And that'll bring out Joe Girardi. And a host of Yankee infielders.
Well, he had as much to say to Nick Swisher as he did to Logan. Probably warning him about the possibility of a bunt.
He walked a long way to do that. And all he's got to do is stay in the dugout. Put both hands out.
That's true, but Swisher is in on the grass at first.
He has Cano as well. Be ready for it. One swung the bat well tonight. He's 2 for 4, and the 2 outs were line shots as he fakes the bunt. Nunez was in on the grass at third. Fox trying to give this very lively crowd tonight a finish. Outfield short, swung around to the left. And that's a can of corn into left field for Gardner. He'll make the catch, retire the side. Sox do pick up a pair. We'll go to the ninth. Now he's trailing by 4. Bronx Bombers. Timms 1 for 4, 2-run homer in the third inning. That pitch is low to even the count at 1. Young's 33-year-old veteran. That's high and deep. And long. Whalen. About 2/3 of the way back. And it's 12-7.
2 home runs, and that's the longest home run of the night.
Well, we talked about he's a good mistake hitter. You make a mistake, and he's going to get you.
8 and 24 on the power numbers. That ball looked like it was shot out of a cannon. Torres hung a slider right over the middle of the plate.
Posada had one of the big hits in this ball game, if not the big hit. It turned out that 2-out, 2-run double in the 5th. Johnny Danks left with 2 men on, 1 out. Pena came on. He got the double. They scored 2 more after that. And for the most part, just sort of broke it open. Three-0 the count. Yankees now 161 home runs. Sox 148. As there is ball 4.
After the game, stay tuned for the 9 o'clock news with Bob Jordan and Morella Raymond, Jim Ramsey with the weather, and Rich King for all the sports highlights immediately following the game.
Here's Austin Kearns. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. That's up high, 2-0. And the count 3-0. Come back and get him. No walks. Sox bullpen that has been really struggling lately the last couple of weeks, giving up 4 tonight. And the count goes full.
Lucas Harrell, Bobby James throwing in the pen.
And that's popped up right side. That's out number 1. So here's Brett Gardner. He's walked twice, grounded to second, popped up to first. That was on an attempted bunt and struck out. Takes first pitch strike. And the count 0-2. Slaps that one hard but foul. Yankees with 12 runs on 13 hits. Sox 7 runs on 12 hits. Pitchers of record, if you're just tuning in, are the starters, Matthew and Johnny Danks. Up high, 1-2. Be the 63rd pitch coming up from Carlos Torres. And there's a base hit. So the double puts Posada on third.
Well, we found a way not to allow him to get 2 hits in a game.
Yeah, this is the 5th game this year, and he's got 9 hits against us. And that'll bring up one of the hitting stars for the Yankees tonight, Eduardo Nunez. 2-run homer in the second, his first major league homer. 2-run double. We'll check that single in the 5th. And that coming with 2 out. He singled and scored last inning.
And the infield is in.
And count 2-0. Derek Jeter on deck.
Ozzie trying to get out of this inning somehow without having to go to the bullpen again. And with Danks going just 4 1/3, Tony Pena having an ineffective 2/3 of an inning with a couple of runs on a couple of hits. Torres in his 4th inning of work.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's out of play. Extra innings down at Tampa Bay, tied at 2 with Boston. Oakland leading Texas 5-0. That game in the top of the 8th down at Rangers Ballpark. Dallas Braden on the bump started that game for the Athletics. And a full count. Bottom of the 3rd at AT&T. Arizona leading Giants 6-1. And that's out of play. Bottom of the 7th in Denver. Rockies leading the Dodgers 3-1. In case you did not hear, this afternoon Minnesota shut out Seattle 1-0 out at Safeco. Nick Blackburn, Brian Fuentes.
Newest acquisition, waiver claim from the Angels. Brian Fuentes, 53rd of an inning, and struck out Russell Brandon.
And there's ball 2. The second walk of the inning.
Here comes Ozzie, and that's going to be it.
That's the 9th walk tonight issued by our pitching staff.
So with the long, slow walk and the point to the bullpen, that'll be it for Torres. And Ozzie tells him he did a pretty good job of getting to the 9th inning. So we'll step out, and Lucas Harrell will come in, and we'll be back after these messages. Bases full of Yankees. A 10-10 record with the Charlotte Knights. Started all 26 of the games he worked. And he has an opportunity now to earn himself a spot out of the bullpen. Each outing for him is going to be a big outing.
So sacks packed with bad guys. And here's Jeter, who is 1 for 4. He also walked in the first. And he scored. First pitch strike on the outside corner from Lucas. Outfield well around to the right. Huge gap in left center.
We're with the bases loaded, a robust 335. Surprisingly, just one grand slam.
And the 0-2 pitch. He gone. Yeah. 2 down.
Threw a high fastball up and out of the zone after getting ahead of him.
So here's Swisher. He's been swinging a hot bat. He was 2 for 4 with a homer and a double last night. He is 2 for 4 with a homer and an RBI single tonight. A 2-run shot. A home run coming in the first inning. Change up down low. Count evens at 1. Lucas a bit of a free spirit. I'll tell you what, when he throws strike 1, he can be very effective.
The free spirit is usually a wonderful attribute to have out of the bullpen. That's where he's going to be called on the rest of the way this year.
And the count 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Ball into left field. One comes on, makes the catch, and Lucas Harrell comes on, does a good job. Strikes out Jeter. Gets Swisher on a soft line drive. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth, but we trail it by 5.
Food Drive has become one of the greater Chicago's food depositories. Best food drives. Let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse replay. And it is Lucas Harrell coming out with the bases loaded to strike out Jeter, to get Nick Swisher on a line drive out, and to get out of the inning. See what's new from AT&T. Visit www.att.com. David Robertson comes on. Record 2-4. The ERA respectable at 3.74, on for the 49th time. It's a 5-run Yankee lead. After falling well behind early, the Sox did come back. Got within a run, and CC Sabathia then pretty much took over and went 7 innings. Got tougher as he went along. Then they turned it over to the bullpen. And they let pretty much their bats do the talking tonight.
Well, the bullpen tonight gave up too many. If you'd have said against CC, will you take 7? Say sure. And probably get yourself a win, especially with Johnny Danks on the bump, but that is not the case to be. 0-1 to count to Alexei, who was 2 for 4. He also scored a run. That's high, and the count 1-1. Tomorrow, Kevin Floyd against Ivan Nova. That game on Comcast Sportsnet. Chops that one foul. So the count now 1-2. That ball hit hard. Stretch. Get up. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Number 15 for Alexei. And it's 12-8.
15 and 55 as Ramirez has 3 hits tonight. So the Sox keep swinging away. And for Robertson, that's the 5th home run he's given up. Looked like a slider that hung right over the middle of the plate. And a line drive into the pen.
So here's Alex. Alex 0 for 4. 7 home runs in this ball game. And 33 runs scored.
Very lively night at
2
the old ball
games.
yard.
Sox won it last night 9-4. It is now 12-8. And there's a shot into right field, but he lost it in the lights. Alex making the turn. He will easily get into third. Austin Kearns just could not find it. So that'll be a triple. Don't stop now, boys.
Well, losing it is one thing, and then laying there is something else. It's a line drive that was slicing back at Austin Kearns. He missed it. Okay. And then decided to lay there for a while. Sure, that'll make Joe Girardi very happy. But things starting to get interesting here in the ninth.
Well, the tying run in the hole. As here's Paulie, he's 2 for 4. RBI single in the first, a 2-run homer in the third. Then in the 7th, he just missed hitting another one out of here to right field.
Last thing Girardi wants to do is have to bring Mariano Rivera into this. And there he is.
And the count 2-0 to Paulie. He's got the catbird seat. Paulie with a good pass at it, just underneath it. Right here, Paulie. Pick him up, buddy. That breaking ball just serves it.
That was the emergency hack, even though he didn't have 2 strikes.
See what Posada wants to do here. And the 2-2 pitch. Ball gets away not far enough. So a full count. The Boston Tampa Bay game in the bottom of the 10th tied at 2.
Girardi looking over his matchup sheet, trying to determine when he's going to bring Rivera into this one.
The payoff pitch to Konerko. Just a get me over breaking ball right there.
Hit awfully hard in foul territory. Unfortunately, Jeff Cox was able to get out of the way of that.
And unfortunately for Robertson, it was so far inside. And that's out of play. And Tampa Bay has just defeated Boston. Home run by Dan Johnson. Bottom of the 10th. Rays win at 3-2. So Boston will fall 5.5 back of whoever. But right here, once again, the 3-2. And there's a shot base hit. Valek scores, and it's 12-9. Now the tying run on the on-deck circle, and here comes Girardi.
I think he's seen enough of the rest of his bullpen. He's going to go to the one guy that normally is a lockdown closer. So out goes Robertson. In comes Rivera. And we'll be back. ERA 118 on for the 48th time. 25 saves in 27 attempts. The opponent's hitting just 163 against him. He inherits Paul Konerko at first base. This is a save situation. It's a 3-run lead. And with nobody out here in the ninth, Carlos Quentin.
And he has only thrown one home run all year.
Could be put to the test tonight because it is lively.
So here we go.
I'm guessing he's going to throw a few cutters tonight.
Think so?
Yeah.
Carlos, 1 for 4. Infield single and a run scored. (12-9) Yankees on top. Did not check it up. And the count 0-1. Rivera has converted 138 out of 145 chances and saves since 07. And the count 0-2.
You know what's coming. Same way it's been coming since he stepped into this league. And yet More times than not, you can't get to it. And it's the cut fastball. It just moves it on either side of the plate.
Well, he's been two-seaming a lot of guys this year, and he started last season. But the cut fastball, he has been the master. Inside, and that ground ball sucked up, and they'll turn it. So very quickly, 2 down.
Well, that's what Rivera does. Posada set up inside. Rivera throws a cutter on the inside corner. Carlos can't get the hands out, and it turns into 5-4-3. Cano has a very strong arm at second base.
Probably got the strongest arm in baseball, certainly in this league. I don't know about anybody in the National League. Yes, there's a base hit by Ramon in the center field. So now Andrew Jones will be up to the plate. Andrews had a big night. Singled, a sharp single to right field off Sabathia in the second. A 2-run homer off CC in the fourth. He walked in the sixth. Then he doubled very hard last inning.
Mariano's starting to look a little nervous, don't you think?
He's using some two-seamers.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, a lot of them so far. There's that cutter going away. And the count 1-1. Sada goes back inside, probably the two-seamer, and that misses. 2-1. (12-14-0) for the Yankees. 9-16-1 for our Sox. Sox are not giving in an inch. That's high. 3-1.
When you lose him, you bring the tying run to the plate. And it's Mark Teahan in the on-deck circle. He came on to hit in the eighth. Drove in a run on a ground ball to Swisher.
Hit the ball very hard. And that's ball 4. Here comes Teahan. Andrew Jones perfect on the evening. A single, a double, a homer, and 2 walks.
It's only the 8th walk this year for Rivera.
Now's when you will see some cutters.
That's in 48 appearances.
To the left-handed hitter. Cutter inside, misses. You see 1 for 7 left-handers overall, and Rivera's career had virtually had no chance. And there's the strike.
He wasn't expecting it there. Expecting it inside, and Posada wasn't expecting it there. So he's going out now to have a word with him. And one of the reasons is that he's got Ramon Castro at second base. When you have a catcher at second, you see he wants it inside. He throws it outside. You have a catcher at second who has a tendency to be able to know when you're going to set up if you set up early and how to give signs to the hitter. I'm thinking that's what he went out there to talk with Rivera about, and he's sitting right over the middle of the plate.
Two on, two out, 1-2 the count here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And there's a little looper, and this ball game is over. So the Sox kept fighting back, kept fighting back, kept fighting back. Yankees win it. They even up the series at a game apiece. They win it 12-9, and we'll be back.